You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network. What's up, everybody? It's Sonny, and this is always a wonderful time to come to you guys and have a discussion. This is definitely a wonderful day to talk about something I think that's important to share with my listeners that have been tapping into the Monday's motivation. I hope that you are getting some things out of it. I hope that is giving you some enrichment and giving you something to think about, giving you something to swarm over, jog over, have other discussions with other people. Challenge yourself, hopefully. And today, this segment, I definitely feel like is going to do that. Is going to challenge some things about yourself. If you're willing to take a hard look, I think for myself, just working diligently to be a better me is just my day to day. And sorry about that. Working to be a better me on a day to day basis, and then sharing just some of the context of things that I think about, talk about, want to be about. And that is why this segment exists. It's a personal development. It's a self-help. It's a willingness to do something of well-being for your soul, for your mind, for your body. Because if you don't have those things in alignment, it makes, other things don't have relevancy. It does not give you momentum towards other areas of your life that definitely needs it as a necessity. So I think the biggest thing is having your mind in a place of optimism, because the world is filled with different things, and things are going to happen if you're in the world doing anything. If you're actively participating in life's day to day, then you're bound to run into some obstacles and have some experiences. But that does not mean that it has to destroy you or make it harder. So I think that the biggest part is being conscious. And today I remember writing this title down and it resonating with me so much because I knew that it was going to, spark some interest of other conversations, hopefully with other people. But I felt like if I'm not able to utilize the conversation in the appropriate way, then how can anybody take it? Right. So today's topic that I wanted to have a discussion about is being strong enough to recognize your weaknesses. And we all have them. And if you think you don't, you got a lot more to overcome than you realize. But honestly, it's a real conversation I think that needs to be had. And you know how this is going to go, y'all. It's Sonny. And it's Monday, and it's Sonny's Monday Motivation. Let's go. You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
Hi, this is Cindy Lemke from the Hemet-San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to invite you to learn more about the Chamber. We have networks ongoing, so you can join us at a breakfast at J&M Restaurant at 9 a.m. every Wednesday. Breakfast is on you, networking is on us. And then we have Women in Business, we have the Multicultural Network, and we have the Valley Nonprofit Network. And then we also have our monthly mixer. Any one of those things, you can be my guest. Give me a call at the office for more information, or just tell me you're coming, 951-658-3211, or you can check us out on the website, hsjvc.com. That's like Hemet-San Jacinto Valley Chamber.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, and don't forget to join the Chamber and help your business grow.
You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
Hey girl, come stop by Double Meek Dub, located off of 211 North State Street in Hemet, California, 92543. We offer eyelash extensions, brow waxing, brow lamination, ombre powder brows, as well as 2-day lash courses, so come get meeked up.
Blue Line Enterprises, located at 1455 North State Street in Hemet, is the go-to used car and truck dealership, providing you with a great car buying experience, offering high-quality pre-owned vehicles. From the moment you walk through the door, commitment is provided to you for a great buying experience with a skilled sales staff, great financing options. We'll help you get the vehicle you want at the great price you deserve. Contact us at 951-293-3105 and feel free to find us online at bluelineenterprisesllc.com. Okay, so we're back at it. It is important to give an opportunity to touch on what we consider self-evaluation. I think it's an important thing to do as much as possible. I'm not going to give you a timeline or a certain time of life or period that you should, but I just feel like it's something that should be a constant. And I want to read something to you guys before I get into this discussion, but it's a leadership motivating aspect of text. Leaders know how to evaluate their efforts. What happens to a man is less significant than what happens within him. Lewis Mann gave that quote. Self-evaluation. Neither congratulations nor criticism should take a leader by surprise. That's because no friend or distractor can say anything that a leader doesn't already know. Leaders who examine themselves will avoid being swayed by flattery or wounded by criticism. They know their strengths and their weaknesses. They know that when they're in success mode, and they know when they're heading in the wrong direction. They can accept praise without becoming conceited. They know that many of the accomplishments come from the contributions of their associates. When they accept the applause of others, they are inwardly extending a hand toward the team members. And they can listen to criticism without taking offense. Since they have a great sense of purpose and direction, constructive criticism can only help them to propel them toward their objectives. Good leaders are comfortable in their own skin. They know what's true about them, and they don't mind hearing it. They also know their weakness, and so they listen to the suggestions that will help them fulfill their leadership role. Leaders are honest with themselves. Okay, guys, so I wanted to read that because it ran right into the same connection, the same vibe of my topic of discussion today. And I wanted to, even though this was pinpointing toward leaders, it's still valuable because most of us are leaders in our families in some form or fashion. Maybe you're an older sibling, you may be a parent, you may be a grandparent, you might be the aunt or uncle that takes charge. You might be the nuisance family member that is always bringing people together, even when they don't necessarily want to do it. You could be the cousin that is in the distance that from afar is always looking to try to find ways to connect and do different things. So I know that there's something beyond business and work environments. So that actual little token of what I just read, I feel like could work in any framework, whether you're talking to someone in business or in social settings. And I think it's important that we understand the level in which our influence can affect ourselves and others, because our magnetism towards things is stronger than what sometimes we give credit to, whether it's positive magnetism or if it's a negative magnetism. So one of the things that I think made me think about this was probably a few weeks ago. I had been working on a couple of projects that I wanted to streamline and just kind of process, where I was with it and if it was worth me to give it attention, in the next upcoming weeks. And in doing that, it made me look at areas for myself that I could say, okay, I'm going to commit this portion to this project, but outside of that, I might have to delegate certain tasks because I recognize that I might be a strong producer, but I might not be the strongest, editor or something, and when you feel like you may not have an area of strength, and this is dependent on your life and circumstances, but as it pertained to me, dealing with projects and stuff that I had going on in front of me, I realized that my time is thin. As far as attention and ability to focus on so many different things at one time. So I recognize the need to prepare to assign some things. And, for me, that was huge to say, okay, instead of me trying to take it all on, recognizing that, hey, maybe this is a need for an intern or an assistant, someone that I could give some measurement of things to, because it's too much of the workload for me. So recognizing that I can't do all of it, and I don't desire to do all of it, that I do want to have certain things handled and not sacrificing the quality of it. But I just know that where I am in my own life, in my own path right now, I could see that I needed to shift and do some things that would allow me to be able to have some other aspects of people involved. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about with that is that it's not always easy to evaluate yourself. And that can be in a number of reasons. Sometimes people have been raised in an atmosphere that has been critical, a lot of criticism, a lot of judgment. And so you become sensitive and very defensive when somebody's getting ready to tell you something, or somebody wants to share their thoughts or ideas about something, or maybe their experience with you was not the way that you thought it was, and they needed to be able to share with you their input of their thought or their side of it, and it don't sit well with you. What do? Do you listen, or do you disregard them? Do you walk away, or do you ignore them, or do you take heed? Because I do feel like people are communicating in their own right from their own position of how they feel about things. So if it's a situation where you're creating an atmosphere or a synergy between somebody that's not comfortable, I would want to know, I would want to know. And two reasons why is because it helps me to make a level of correction if there's something from my end that's causing you to feel a certain kind of way. And if it's making you feel some kind of way, let me know in regards to it. And, maybe there can be a discussion to say that, hey, from my perspective, I was just following up, or I was just giving my take on something. But for you, it may feel some kind of, it may have come off in a different kind of way. So, in that, it's not so much about the other person, but it is more so about you identifying things about yourself that are areas that I'll call them gray areas. They're gray areas because they may not be as fruitful for you as, it may not be serving you as much energy as you're putting into it. So if you're having a action that needs to be corrected, or there's a thing that you're doing, or there's an indulgence or something that you're participating in that you may not be aware of that's not serving you. And this also can come in the form of a person. You could be, you may have a weakness when it comes to dealing with people. You might have a weakness when it comes to a certain person or a certain type of people. Sometimes you have people that have that lack the ability to stand up for themselves. And so because they don't have the ability to stand up for themselves, it's really a weakness for them. And then they may be aware of it. And because they're aware of it, they may do something to try to offset that behavior by trying to be or do for everybody, or they may not be aware of it at all. And they're always giving themselves up in a way that is self-sacrificing, or it could be, it could be something that's actually damaging to them and they're not aware of it. So there's so many things that shapes us. There's so many qualities about us that shapes us. And a lot of our shaping comes from our experience. A lot of our experiences comes through our decisions and our walks of life. So in that, There's times when I feel like you just need to do an evaluation. And if you're dealing with a new job, if you're dealing with maybe you move from one neighborhood to another, maybe you're in a new environment at work, maybe you're in a new relationship, maybe you're in a new, in a new place in your life where you may no longer be participating in certain things and you're shifting. And so as you're shifting or you're making strides or you're growing in these different areas, there's different things that may be happening that is at play. And so with that happening, it may be something within us that is occurring that we're not giving attention to. Right. It could be our response. It could be the way we handle stress. It could be the way we handle change, or we don't deal with change well. That can be considered a weakness because you like to stay in the same realm of things. You don't like to disrupt things, or you don't like to be confronted about stuff, or you don't like to make something. Prime example, maybe you've been in the same job for a long period of time and then that job goes away. And then you're in a new, you're in a space or a place where you no longer have this position. Right. And now you have to start over in most people's eyesight. You're starting a new career or you're just looking for new employment. Right. And because you've been accustomed to doing your day to day in that previous position, you're no longer in that repetition state. And so now a lot has probably changed. Even the way you may have interviewed, the way you've gone about applications, the way you've gone about finding a job, there's nothing that stays the same. There's very minimal things that stay the same. So because there's a difference in this, trajectory of your life, you might have to adjust some things. And in that adjustment, you might uncover or discover some things about yourself that may not be helping you to get to the next step or to the next level or to push you forward. And that could be an area of weakness, right? What is it that's causing this crutch? Sometimes, and guys, I'm actually perspiring a little bit because I had to turn my air off, because when I'm on air, man, these mics pick up everything. So you'll hear the AC sound and the air, the room noise, and everything else is blowing back. So right now, I already see that I'm feeling the impact of the heat. Today we have 100+ degrees. It's been like that for the last few weeks. And so during the daytime, I'm not going to lie to you, it is a challenge beyond. So I just had to make mention of that because I find myself just like, whoo. I had a moment. I was like, I think I need to get me some water, have a water break, which is probably what I should do as we're talking. But, guys, what I think is important is that if you're here and you have an opportunity on this earth to continue to do things and be whatever it is you desire to be, it's going to cost you in the essence of self-evaluation. You have to, kind of check in with yourself as much as possible. And I think that is not a bad thing for you to do, because it gives you a measurement of growth. It gives you a measurement of understanding where you are in your life and, how maybe you're interacting with other people around you and how they're interacting with you. And so one of the things that I find myself doing, because I've had a lot of transitional things going on personally with myself over the last few years. And in that time period, I had to do some inventory of some things for myself and figure out what has been serving me and what hasn't. What have I added to my level of complication? What have I added to my level of ease? What is it challenging me, or am I challenging myself enough to grow and to expound as a person, So I feel like for those who are at this point of trying to elevate, if you're a person that likes challenges, then it's not going to be a secret that you're going to experience some things. And in those experiences, how you respond and how you're doing the things that you're doing is going to show up in your life, and your decisions and all those things are going to take effect, right? So I actually feel as if I'm at this turning point in so many areas, and I think because I'm at that turning point, it puts a heavier requirement of me to check in with myself and to see how I'm progressing, because a lot of work is not always on the physical outside of your body. It's not necessarily the physical aspect of change. A lot of it is the molecular makeup of habits that you created. It can be the mindset or the way you go about your day to day, just getting up in the morning and intentionally working towards whatever it is that you need to do, and not being distracted, and not being put in a position to where you're not growing towards what it is that you desire. Because it's easy. I'm gonna tell you, I've had levels of procrastination in work, in school, in life, and in habits, and whatever you want to call it. I've had the ability to pinpoint that as one of those things for me that I had to work towards changing. And let me say, not work towards, but it's active, because I think it's easy to be distracted. I think it's easy to have different things throw you off if you allow it to. And I'm just being human over here. I'm giving real human conversation in this context of saying that what you're feeling or what you're experiencing in your life is patterned to you. And a lot of the decisions that you're making is going to determine what your day-to-day looks like. And so I just have gotten to a point of working heavily in the power of intention. And in those intentions, it is for me to identify those areas where I'm weak, and want to either change them or strengthen them, because sometimes they need to be totally done away with. It's not always something that needs to be altered or adjusted. Sometimes you just got to stop doing certain things or participating in certain activities or being a certain kind of way if it's not serving you, or if you're the common denominator when it comes to certain things that are happening amongst people, places, and things. So in that, once again, it's coming from a self-evaluation. It's coming from being strong enough to recognize that this is an area that you need to change, or this is something that I got to stop actively participating in because it's not being, it's not a positive thing. It's not working for me. It's working against me. I might be working against myself and not realize it because of certain things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. And, for me, guys, I think that anyone that is working in this day and age to provide for their families, to provide for themselves, to start a business, grow a business, change jobs, change careers, go back to school, anything that requires decision making and action. It is important to make sure that you check in with yourself and evaluate where you are in terms of your life. I just think that is just a wonderful thing to do and a wonderful way to be. And it will excel you. It will give you a level of existence that only you can have in your own space and time. So for me, I remember writing this title down of this show some weeks ago and crafting a message. My mind just started immediately wrapping into different things that I could see for myself that I wanted to, take inventory of. And even in this discussion today, and having this information shared on our radio network, I feel like I want people to know that they're not alone when it comes to, that discovery. You may have health issues that have have come from the lack of taking care of yourself, or overindulgence. Sometimes you can be overdoing it. It still comes back to decisions of how you ate or how you exercise, or the lack of. Maybe you should have walked more. Maybe you should have stretched more. There's all these different things and scenarios that can come at play. But what you do now can make the difference as to what the next day looks like. I've been challenged physically, having to deal with, I had to have surgery a few months ago, and it just changed so much for me, and I'm still adjusting and dealing with that, that situation. And what's so funny, y'all, if you've ever, like, I'm a former athlete, professional athlete. I should put it, because I don't even know I said that. I'm a former professional athlete in basketball, right? And whenever you've been an athlete or played a sport or something like that, there's certain things that you do that come second nature, or that you may have a go-to. You might be right-handed, so you go to your right hand automatically to shoot the basketball, or you go to your left hand to dribble, because you know that your dribble is stronger in your left hand. So when you shift to the other hand and you recognize, well, I'm not the best left hand shooter. That's a weakness. You're now shifting and bearing your weight over to the other side. But let's say you break your hand. You break your right hand, and you're a right hand shooter. Now it forces you to use your left hand, and in that force, it makes you now recognize, okay, I got an injury. I can't get the usage out of this hand, so I'm gonna use this hand. God bless me with another hand, but this hand is a weaker hand in the context of writing, in the context of maybe dribbling, in the context of maybe shooting. Not to say that my hand, this left hand and the right hand, don't have equivalent usage of ability. It does, but I may not have allowed my hand to develop at the same level in which my right hand has. So now I'm forced to have to strengthen my left hand and to do things with my left hand that I have not been doing. So now my repetition of dribbling or shooting or reaching and grabbing with my left hand now takes precedence, because now I can't use my right. And it's so funny, because I think a lot of us in our lives, we have situations that happen in that pattern where we have been going and going and going, and depending on maybe one element of what we've been accustomed to. But then when something forces us to have to shift or adjust, at that point in time, we recognize the weakness or the lack of strength in a certain area of ourselves. And now we're forced to have to use the other side, or we're forced to have to do something differently that we normally would do. And it can make you feel like you're lacking, or you may be definitely feeling a challenge because of it. And now you're forced to have to make a decision. Do I sit here and because I've injured my right hand and I can't use my right hand, that I won't write anything until my right hand heals? Or will I attempt to use the other hand and start building upon and strengthening this hand so that I can still do what I need to do or get usage out of it? And I feel like when you take the time to find weaknesses within yourself, is similar to that. The difference is, it's better to do it consciously on your own decision versus dealing with something as a consequence, and it forces you to have to evaluate or look at the weakness or the area in which you haven't been strengthening, or you haven't corrected, or you haven't given attention to. And I think that the synonymousness of this is equated to how a lot of times life, you'll instead of you living your life is handling you. And to be handled in your life is not easy. It doesn't feel good, but it has a purpose. And a lot of times, we're forced to have to make adjustments because we didn't consciously make the adjustment. We didn't make a decision to make the adjustment. A choice or action or something took place, and now it's forced us to have to make a change. So my message to you in this sense, and I'm gonna wrap this up, is that instead of waiting for things to injure you or to make it harder for you or to give you deeper challenges, maybe step into your own seat of ability to look at yourself and to evaluate yourself and to attack things that you don't necessarily feel comfortable about addressing, but you know that it's there, and you know that it is a part of the reason why maybe you're not getting the job or you're not getting the opportunity that you're wanting, because you know that there's an area within you that, and sometimes it can be laziness. It doesn't necessarily mean that your capabilities aren't there, but maybe sometimes you're just being lazy and you're short and you're being a short-ended person. You're not seeing things through. You're not following through completely. You're not completing things. Some of us are not even starting things. So, but that's a whole another conversation. I ain't gonna dump it all on you at once, because I want you to be able to be receptive for this. So, it's important to, I just dare you to be better at whatever it is you know you need to do to get you where you need to be. And I say that to me, and I'm saying it to you. And for those who know that this exists within them, just acknowledging it is huge. And acknowledging it gives you an opportunity to address it. Pray for those who have these situations that is happening in the day-to-day life, because you might be dealing with them and they're not aware, because, not having the awareness can be just as dangerous as knowing it and not doing something about it. So, hey, y'all, just, take the time to be fair with yourself, be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, it makes it hard for other people to be honest with you. Because matter of fact, you're going to run from you're not going to want to participate in those kind of conversations, because you're not going to have enough gumption to handle it. You won't even be forthright in your own dealings. So to hear coming from somebody else, you definitely ain't going to want it. You're going to run from it, shy from it, argue from it, avoid it, whatever. And it's really hurting you. It's not taken away from the other person. It's taken away from you. And it's making, areas in your life. It's like having a lack of oxygen. Just imagine cutting off oxygen to your brain and see how well you get up and do things. So, hey, I think it's better to feed it than to strip it. So I'm just going to say that. That's my take. I'm not going to make this a heavy soundboard of repetitiveness. I think that I probably have driven home what I wanted to say. And I hope that this has been a quick inspiration to be a significant factor, and that for those who are at that point in their life and, you hear this, I'm just the affirmation of your own accountability. And I wish you the best in your steps of discovery, and I give you the permission to be easy with yourself too. Like, don't necessarily attack this and down yourself in it, because trust me, it's not a downward thing. This is a moment of truth and a moment of strength and courage. It takes a lot of courage to be able to identify areas in which you're weak. So I just want to make sure you know that, and that you doing that is stepping into your power, man. So I know you have it. I know you're capable, and I know you're ready. And this is what, you were destined to be great.
Fast hauling, junk removal, and demolition is serving the Hemet, San Jacinto, and Temecula Valley areas, providing affordable junk and bulk pickup services. Whether you're in need of home or business pickup, fast hauling and demolition is available 7 days a week at 951-378-2727. In need of a fast demolition? Looking to build or remodel? Fast demolition is available to tear down and rebuild your kitchen, patio, bathroom, floors, walls, ceilings, and more. Fast hauling and demolition also provides front and backyard services if you're in need of trim of small palm trees, yard removal of debris, and more. Contact them at 951-378-2727.
My name is Juan Martinez. I'm the president and owner of J&I Heating and Air Conditioning, located in Hemet, California. With over 15 years in the trade and working for a nationwide HVAC company, J&I is your one-stop shop for all your heating and air conditioning needs. We proudly service all Hemet, San Jacinto, Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, Sun City, Paris, Winchester, Lake Elsinore, Wildomar, and more. We are a family-owned and operated business with one goal in mind, and that is to be around for generations to come. Naming J&I after my sons Joshua and Isaac was my way of showing my community that I just don't want your business. I want to create a long-term relationship with our customers and to be around when our services are needed, now or even 10 to 30 years from now. Your air conditioner and furnace have a very important job, and that is to keep you and your family comfortable indoors. When your heating and air conditioning system breaks down, it can be expensive and frustrating. At J&I, our team takes the frustration out of the repair, installation, and maintenance process to bring you peace of mind. Our services include heating and air conditioning installation, maintenance, and repairs for both residential and commercial properties. We also provide a free in-home consultation on upgrading or replacing your existing heating and air conditioning system. We make it our top priority to provide our customers with honest and affordable repairs in a timely manner.
My name is Judy Nadler, and I'm a customer of J&I. They put in AC for me, so if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have any. They have very good people that work for them. They're very polite, and they're very nice and neat, and I really, really like them a lot.
If you need any heating and air conditioning services or a second opinion, contact us today. We look forward to providing you with the very best quality and customer service you deserve.
Los Mariatos Seafood and Entertainment is a 13,000 square foot of restaurant and colorful entertainment space located at 2241 West Esplanade in the heart of San Jacinto, California. Los Mariatos is a must-see restaurant specializing in the best of Mexico cuisine with its flavors, aromas, colors, traditions, and bright wall display and art. Stop in 7 days a week and enjoy fresh and tasty seafood made to order that's quickly prepared for you to have a fantastic dining experience. Stay after dinner and wind down with a variety of entertainment, live music, DJs, and more. Connect and follow on Facebook, Instagram, or call for reservations at 951-654-8558.
Cynthia Sweet Treats, located at 1259 South State Street in Hemet. We are located in the Diamond Valley Shopping Center. Come in and enjoy some puff pastries, custom cakes, cupcakes, mini desserts, handmade pastries, fresh breads, cookies, and event catering. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8:30 to 3 p.m., and Sundays we are closed. If you have any questions, go ahead and call the store, which is 951-282-3237. You can also find our website at cynthiasweettreats.co.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, it felt like my whole world came tumbling down.
Patient Advocate Foundation is here for you, providing free one-on-one practical support to patients with a cancer diagnosis. Call us at 800-532-5274. Patient Advocate Foundation can assist in navigating disability benefits and health insurance options. PAF also helps in accessing vital services, medications, and financial resources for both medical and household expenses. Visit patientadvocate.org or call 800-532-5274.